everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Let's Play Dragon Warrior. In the last part we got here to Cantlin. Now, all I really show off here right now is that you can talk to this guy right here to find Nestor from Nintendo Power. Ha! Love it. But if you were to talk around town, I don't remember which person it is exactly, but if you talk around town, you'll find out that some guy named Wynn over at Hawksness, that town in the desert, had Erdrick's armor, which we need to go get right now. But now we have to level grind up to level 22. And the thing is, that's only the third to last grind fest. We're nearly done! Yay! Not really, I actually kind of liked recording this. Now, in that level grinding session, I got Hurt More, the most powerful spell in the game for damage. It does around 60 at my level, so yeah, if it did that, it would. If it constantly did around 6, if it did, let me rephrase this. If it did 65 each turn, I would kill the final boss in 2 hits. It's obscene at my level, and the thing is, like I mentioned before, I have 2 grind sessions left. I'm getting to max level on this, which is 30, oddly. Anyway, here we are at Hawksness. I believe someone over in Remolder, or was it called, talked about this place. But we never really... There's no reason to go here until now. Why am I taking so long to hit it? Thank you. You can technically go here earlier to do what we need to do, but I wanted to at least have the hint for this one. Also, for some reason, it uses the cave theme here, which makes no sense. But where we want to go is that tree, a lonely tree right in front of us right now. When we step on it, make sure you're healed if you're at low level, by the way. Because we're actually going to be fighting a boss of sorts here. This is the Axe Knight. 70 HP, around, gives 54 XP, 115 to 150 gold. Or, sorry, 54 experience, 135 to 165 gold. I was looking at the wrong thing there. It only has one spell, and that's Sleep, but it's a physical attack when you're at low levels. Does it make up for that no spells? Anyway, Hurt More kills it in 2 hits for me. And search right here to get something that's somewhat required to get Erdrick's armor. It's the best armor in the game, and it also has 2 effects. It nullifies hazards, so swamps and berries and such will not do damage to us anymore. And for every step it takes, we recover some HP, which is incredibly useful. Especially during grinding. But now we're gonna have to head back to Cantlin to do 2 more things, really. First off, head in here. It's kind of hard to tell with the doors on that. And head through the southern exit, which is right there, to find one of the last doors we need to unlock. Open it. Come over here and talk to this guy to find out that the last item we are required to get is 70 spaces south and 40 east of Tentacle Castle. That's the only hint you get to where this item is, so make sure you know where it is. Oh, can you actually enter that place from anywhere? I actually never thought about that. But there's one more thing we need to get here in town, even though I also decided to restock on some keys. But even though it takes me a minute to find the key shop, even though it's the one on the north right here, is we're finally going to buy ourselves a shield. Starting with, and we're getting the best shield in the game, actually, the silver shield. Cost me a majority of my money, but it's oh so worth it for that extra defense. Plus, we get to see a new sprite of ourselves with the shield. Cool. And with that, I'm pretty much done here in Cantlin. The only place this would serve as is a place for me to grind, even though it costs 100 gold per in-session. But, considering the enemies around here get the best experience. By the way, I forgot to mention, you can encounter green dragons in the plains outside of, or rather the area surrounding Cantlin, which is rather extreme to be fighting a boss that we only fought, like, last part. As a normal enemy. Then again, Dragon Quest tends to do that, from what I've heard. Especially Dragon Quest 2. I'm not even that far in that game that's kicking my ass. Anyway, now we're finally, if you remember correctly, south, or rather, slightly more down this path than that bridge that we crossed to get to Cantlin, there's this bridge. We're finally going to cross it for the only time we need to in the game. This is also the only place where, if you remember correctly, last part, we got Gwaelin's Love, which is actually a usable item that tells you not only how much experience you have left before the final level, but, what's it called? How far you are from Tentacle in terms of spaces, north, south, east, and west. This is the only way you have of absolutely knowing where you are in relation to the castle. 70 south, 40 east, search the ground. Just making sure that I'm in the right place. Search the ground to get the final 100% required item in the game, Erdrick's Token. This is also where I've completely remembered that this version, and I believe the Game Boy Color version as well, has a limited inventory. The thing is, that's the only time that we're going to see that text, too. Anyway, now we're going to have to head over to the Shrine of Holy, south of Remolder, if you remember where that was from 1 or 2 parts ago. So, now we're back here. This is the place where the old man kicked us out, because we didn't have proof. But now that we have the proof, he fuses the Staff of Rain in the Stones of Sunlight into the Rainbow Drop, which I did not understand whatsoever. I thought I had to give him Erdrick's Token, because I thought that treasure chest was something. Probably is too if you're able to hack your way through that, too. That was kind of redundant. Yeah, that was a somewhat redundant sentence, wasn't it? Yeah, so I actually had to realize... It actually took me a few minutes. I was like, did I get the item? Because he's not disappearing, because I completely forgot that I'd gotten the Rainbow Drop. And with that, we can head on over to the final area. But first, run over to Remolder in the second to last grind session up to 25. And the next grinding session, which I'm going to kick off the next part with, is going to be the longest. I'm going to be grinding from the experience I have right now up to somewhere in the 60,000s. I want to be overleveled for the final boss, dang it. Anyway, now we have to head northwest of Remolder to head on over to this beach. Son of a beach. And right here, this exact spot, context sensitive, use the Rainbow Drop. And with this, we'll finally be able to head on... Why does that remind me of one of the Zelda games, that sound effect? We can create a bridge to finally head across here. Welcome to Charlock Island, as I like to call it. Home of Charlock Castle, which, by the way, is directly southeast of Tentacle Castle. We'll actually be able to see it... yeah, that was Tentacle Castle, directly northwest of us. But this is by far the most brutal area in the game. For some reason on this trip I only encountered Axe Knights. I'm not sure why. So any new encounters I'll show off next part. Anyway, search right here to learn that there's apparently a draft coming from behind the throne. Search there for the last time we're going to be using the search idea command, and we're finally underground. And if you might remember, I think that one thing that they use really well here is the fact that the music goes down an octave or so or rather in pitch every time you lower a floor, which I think is actually really good in this dungeon alone. What am I, in this castle alone, because final area. Anyway, we're here. We're not gonna go fight the final boss yet. We're here for that chest, actually. But we have to go through a bit of a maze to get to it, and to the final boss as well. But as for what that chest is, it's an item we are required to get to really damage the final boss whatsoever. And I think I was trying to remember where I was at that point. Because I'll admit, this is a confusing place if you haven't played this game as many times as some people have. This is only my 4th completion playthrough, I believe. I can't really remember. Because, this is a game I don't have... Well, I should have mentioned it by this point, but Dragon Quest is a series I don't have as much experience with as Final Fantasy. I was introduced to RPGs with Final Fantasy and been with it ever since. Dragon Quest is more of an afterthought for me. But once I picked up Dragon Quest 9, I decided to try out the series from the start, and I rather enjoy it. And considering how short the first game is, that's why I decided to even start doing this, even though I really shouldn't be getting into this until the next part. Then again, the credits sequence is rather short, so I guess it is best I explain this here. Anyway, we're actually right about to get to the item. In this chest is the best sword in the game, Erdrick's sword. This sword boosts your current attack by 20, whatever it may be. But with that, and us getting that sword, I'm going to end things off here. Thank you guys for watching, rate, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And next time, we're finishing the game. See you guys then.